in between, and there was like next step buttons.
Experience where the customer was on positive ER, I think, and then when I clicked the continue button, negative ER was sent. And so
Really?
I'm kind of confused sometimes regarding this.
Is it like a one-time basis bug, or did you experience more stuff like that?
I think I experienced it twice because since when I noticed that I tried to not use the continue button, I just went with the old ER flow, clicking the RQ1, RQ2. I didn't use the continue after.
Did you report this bug, by the way?
Let me check.
Was it yesterday or today?
Just discuss it with the other companions.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did not report it.
So if you can report it, that will be great. I'll try. I can try and check this on Telegram and see if it's still like an ongoing bug. So first of all, if you can report it, that would be great. Okay. Abe, how was your experience with the new ER?
It was actually, I think it was announced towards the middle or last part of my shift. So I didn't really notice that much. I did have one experience somewhat similar to Queens. I didn't get a chance to report it, but I just experienced that once, so I didn't notice if it was something like it's happening all the time. And I was surprised that Queen also experienced that. For the buttons, like at the lower part, I was still trying to get used to it yet, and didn't do. I think I only used that twice during that for the rest of the shift. So I didn't have that much full experience yet with the new update or the one that got uploaded.
Mm-hmm. So right now, are you using the buttons, or are you just like using the original buttons that we have, the RQ1 and RQ2? Because I know like the next buttons are like the next step is kind of all of this the new ER feature, the fact that it's mostly automated and it has next step, it was really like I said, it was like really uploaded by surprise. So I'm trying to understand, like, do you use it right now, or did you prefer to use like the original one that you know?
It was, since it was really new that time, and I was at first when Burns announced it, I was on that lower part of the screen where it has the buttons, and have to like read it like and try to understand what would happen if I would click that. I was trying to explore in it, but force of habit. And if there were like times that there are lots of coming in. I mean, not really lots, but back to back conversations come in. It was just, I guess, force of habit that I'm kind of used to clicking on the old buttons, but there were times where I catch myself just reading what's going on. What happens if I click on another reflection, for example, or what will happen if what's this default should be continued? Okay, just trying to understand what's going on. It takes some time, and I guess it was just slow for me to adapt. Unlike before when we had like you announced, like there was a training, so it was better.
I can totally see why you're not using it completely right now, because you didn't get any training and it's really out of the blue and you don't want to, mess up the conversation with the customer. So I totally understand it. I hope it will change once we do the training. There is supposed to be like it has been passed on to the team leaders and they're supposed to talk about it. I'm not sure about if by video or by Teams. I don't know. It's like their choice, but I'm hoping that when the compliance like you guys and the rest of the team will get training, then you will use it. Eliza, how was your experience? Sorry, I didn't follow. In what case? What step of the ER you're talking about? Mm, mm, mhm. Okay, so I can see why it's not clear. Like I said, this has been like you haven't received any training, so why should it be clear? Sorry. I want to show you. I think because um you're the ER specialist and you're gonna go over conversations, and I think that the conversations are going to be they're gonna look a bit different right now, and maybe are not entirely different, but I do think that it's gonna be a bit more of like I don't know what the word is. 1 second. Okay. So I think it's gonna be a lot more like pattern. We're gonna see the same pattern in every conversation because a lot of it is gonna be catch like I'm not sure if you're feeling the reduce in the messages, but most of the stuff are catched by the AI, which is like that's for start is like a really good beginning. And I want to show you a bit. I'm sure your all of the components are going to see this chart flow, but I want like did the team leaders post any chart flow? Not yet, I think. Any training?
No, chart
No.
flow.
Okay. Okay, so I want to share it with you guys. The team leaders are gonna probably share it with you guys as well, like with all the team. But I want you guys to like I want to explain to you guys because I feel like I feel like it's like more important, like the whole team needs to understand it, but you guys need to understand it in a more deeper level, since you're gonna go over conversations and you'll need to know how it goes. So I'm gonna share my screen. Just 1 second. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay. So when Ziv told me about there's a new flow, the first thing I always do is like, okay, we need to map it and we need to see how it goes. Like, so what are the possibilities? What are the options? Just 1 second. Okay. Okay, so this is how it goes. You have the first response, which is let's say, you know what, I'm thinking that maybe, okay, I think I want to show you first on Telegram because I think it will be easier, and then we will go over the flow because I feel like it's easier to see it on Telegram. Did you try it, by the way, the ER flow, or not yet? No. Okay. Okay, so let's start from the beginning because I feel like seeing the conversation is easier, and then afterwards, we can go back to the chart. Okay, so hey Kai, how can I help you? And then I'm invoking the flow. I'm writing I'm sad. Okay, I'm showing you right now the ER conversation that is only activated by the AI. Okay, there's no, it's only by the AI. Why is it working? Oh, that's weird. Just 1 second. Okay, so it's pretty slow. I don't get it. Let's try again. It's so weird. Maybe there's a bug. Oh, so I think we're in the middle of the flow. I'm trying to end it. Just 1 second. No, I don't get it. Okay, let's start maybe starting it from here. Okay. Okay. I think we're okay. Okay, so this it's supposed to be automatically. I was just inside the flow, so it wasn't working, but generally it's gonna be like, I'm sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Would you want to tell me more about it? This is the first question. The first question is the reflection question. And then I say, yes, feel free to share. I'm really sad. And then they're asking me, actually, this is kind of the first reflection question, right? Because this is like the opening question, the suggestion to talk about. This is the first reflection question. Okay, so I want to show you something cool. Angry, sad, disappointed. See that what's Kai doing? They're telling us to go on. Angry, hurt, hate. Just like, okay, so crying. Okay. And let's say I don't want to, I finished answering this question. I think around 10 seconds, 20 seconds, something like that. We should get another message by the AI if it hasn't come to the incoming messages. Yeah. So let's wait just 1 second. Okay. Next question. What else? We're in the second reflection question. Okay. This is all AI. What else? I'm so sad. Had a fight. My mom. She doesn't under me. I want her to leave me alone. Okay, let's see. So I've stopped. I've stopped typing. It's a bit slow. It should be faster. Not in Sandbox. Next question is the solution question. What would you feel? How would you feel supported right now? Okay. If I could my boyfriend. Okay, and then it just goes on to the next question. It doesn't wait it doesn't wait like with this to the I hear you. There's no place to vent in the solution question. Let's say I say, yeah, okay. I'm not sure it was catched. No, it was catched. Okay. And then they send me the exercise. Guy send me, and curious to know, how do you feel right now? Let's say I've done the exercise, and then I say, I guess a bit. No, you know what? Let's say worst. And then they ask us another solution question. I'm so sorry to hear that. What might help you in the situation? Nothing you can. I think it goes. Okay, it was catched. Let's see. Okay, here we have a bug, I think. It hasn't gone to the okay, here we have a bug because it hasn't gone to the incoming messages, and it should have, because it hasn't been identified. Okay, so there's a bug here, but in general, if I say nothing, we're supposed to say like, okay, that's fine. We can always talk. Send a hug and be like, so the correct thing is like to send a hug. And then customer don't want to share. But it hasn't even gone to the live channel. So there's a bug here. But in general speaking, this is how it looks like. Do you have any questions before? I think it will be a bit more, you know what, maybe I'll go over the chart flow, and then if you have any questions. Are you with me? I know it's a bit tiring. Yeah, okay. Cool. Okay. So this is how it looks like. The ER flow is activated. We have the first response and empathy. Do you want to share? We're asking. Let's say they say yes. You know what? Let's say they say no. No, client don't want to share. It's all AI. Okay. Probably you won't even see it. But if it comes to you guys, you'll have the option to navigate with buttons. Let's say yes. Then we send an empathy and a first reflection question, which is like, what has been like for you? How do you feel about it? You're familiar with the first reflection question. Okay, now there are two options. If the intent was negative enough, the AI will just continue to the second reflection question. So what I'm talking about, what?
We can't see your screen.
Oh, you can't see my screen? Oh, so I was just talking about nothing. Okay, thank you. Now can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. From the beginning. So you have the first response, which is empathy. Do you want to share? Okay, this is all AI. Probably you won't even see it. So let's say yeah, let's say no. Then it goes automatically to client don't want to share. I want you to see like the wider context and not only what coming to the companions. I want you like to see the whole flow that is like going to be probably part AI, part companion, because it depends. As always, what was until now is that the ER was not automated at all. So all the questions came to the companions, but now it's going to be mostly automated, and some of the messages are going to come to the companions. So I think it's like super important for all the companions to see the wider context, but for you guys, it's even more important because this is like the base. Okay, so let's say they say yes, and so here we know what happens. It stops. Don't want to do ER. Let's say yes, that we send an empathy. It's all AI, empathy, and first reflection question. And let's say that the intent is negative enough. Okay, let's say I've answered, I'm sad, I hate myself, like the stuff I've shown you in the Telegram. Like I intentionally use sad intents that I know that are sad enough so that the flow will continue automatically, and I'll show you how it looks like in a way that only the AI navigates the whole conversations. All conversations, okay. So let's say it's negative enough. Then it goes to the second reflection question. What else? The companions aren't even here. But let's say it's not negative enough. Okay. And if it's not negative enough, then you saw in your live channel that you have two buttons. You can do or continue or reflection question, which is, first of all, I think it's maybe a bit the names are a bit confusing. What is it like? What's the difference between continue and reflection question? So probably we're going to change them. I'm not sure to what, but I want you to understand what happens if you click each button. Okay, so if it's a short response, which means like, let's say Kai asked the customer how do they feel, and they say bad. Okay, so probably they don't have a lot to talk about. There's no place to deepen here with this specific question. So we just go on to the second reflection question. Okay. How do we do that? We do continue. We just continue to the second reflection question. But let's say the customer has like, it's not a short response. Not a short response can be that, for example, they wrote a lot of like this. Like these are a lot of short responses, but there are many of them. So the customer is like venting. So you see they're in venting mode. Maybe they have wrote to how does it make you feel? I'm having a really hard time. My parents are driving me crazy. I don't know, whatever. So if it's a long response on the first time, okay, why is it on the first time? Because I'll explain what happens here. So we click reflection question, and that will take us back to another reflection question. So they will receive. Sorry. They will receive another reflection question, which is, for example, what has this been like for you? Okay. So think of it about deepening into the first reflection question. This is a customer who has a lot to say about this specific question. So you're asking them kind of like another reflection question, which is like the same type. Okay, the same type of reflection question, but a different one, because you want to deepen here. Because I have vented a lot. Why did I say on the first time? Because you don't want to deepen. We don't have enough questions right now, and you don't want to deepen like nonstop right now. So on the first time that they are sharing a lot, you will click the reflection question. But for example, you ask them, what has this been like for you? Okay. What has this been like for you? Because you click the reflection question, and you're like back here. And then let's take an example that it has came back to you. Okay, so the answer is something that is not negative enough intent. Then you need to click the continue and not go back to the reflection question, because right now we don't have enough reflection questions. But let's say, I think that in the future, if we have like many reflection questions, that there's no harm on like clicking again and again and just like having the client, like this can be like a really big resource for them to like just vent, and you don't have to do that much. Like you're like, because we have the AI, then it doesn't take that much of your time. So you're just like reflection question, continue, whatever you decide, depends on the response. And you just like kind of like, you click it and then you kind of let it go. So it will only come back to you if it's something that the AI doesn't recognize, which means that a lot less work. It's a lot more efficient what we have right now. Okay. Is this clear? Do you have any questions until now?
It's clear for me.
Quinn and Lisa?
Oh, good.
Okay, cool. By the way, you can do like a I forget, like an emoji, but whatever. Like this. Okay, so after the second reflection question, like you saw, we have this. There's a what else? What else are you feeling? What else are you thinking? Yeah, exactly. Thank you. um, so this is the same thing, just like the same thing. If it's a negative enough intent, it goes to the solution question. If it's not negative intent, then we need to decide between continue, which means that we continue to the solution questions, or else question, which means like we kind of go back because we want to deepen here. So it's the same thing, the same loop. Okay. So I'm not gonna waste my time here because this is the same thing. Okay. After the solution question, we ask what can help. And let's say, and right now, I want to tell you that it's all recognized by the AI, but all the questions are right now, all the answers, but it's a bug. So it shouldn't all be recognized by the AI. If it's recognized by the AI as like a valid question, a valid answer, what can help you? Let's say, being with my friends. Then we just go to suggest exercise. But let's say it wasn't identified by the AI. I want to say that this section right now is we're still building it because I just talked to Zeeb and we're trying to think like what are the scenarios, like what people answer to solution questions. And by that, we're going to configure the buttons. But right now, the option is like, if the response is not identified by the AI, you can or continue by the like click continue. That's the button you have, or you have an ability to click a hug and then do continue. It's not perfect because I feel like we need an exception here. Like in general, I think we need an exception button in all the steps. I'm going to talk to Ziv about it, that whenever someone doesn't want to talk or says nothing, that we have like a way out. Actually, when they say nothing, I'm not sure that we want a way out. Maybe we just want to continue. So I need to talk about it, to talk with him about it. Okay, but right now this is a situation. Okay. Okay. So you can do or hug and continue or just continue. This is probably going to change to something else that is better because it doesn't really make sense to me right now. But this is right now the situation. After you're in suggest exercise, then they can say yes or no. Okay. It can be or acknowledged by the AI and the companion won't even see it. Or maybe it will be like something like, yeah, I guess I can do that. And maybe the AI won't recognize it. And then you'll have the option to click yes or no. So if they say no, if they say yes, it goes to like, okay, so if they say no, we just send them a closure, which is like, I don't remember exactly what the closure is, but let's see. I'm sad. Bad. I'm just playing with it for a second. I really hope it's faster for the customers because this is so slow. Okay, so if they say no, let's say I'm saying no. No. Okay. So we say no problem. I'm always available if you decide to give a try. And then they ask us, how are you? Okay. Okay, so this isn't right. I need to change it. If they say no, it does go to the, how do you feel right now? Okay. Hey guys, hi, sorry.
Hello.
Okay. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, we're almost done. Okay. Okay, so after they say yes, we acknowledge it like, that's great. We send it. I need to, it's my mistake. Okay. I need to enter it here. We send, after they say yes, we send an exercise and then we ask, what do you feel right now? If they say no, we don't send the exercise. We send like, okay, that's fine. And we ask, how do you feel right now? Okay. Is it clear? Okay. If they say bad, or I don't know, something negative, then it can be by the AI, catch by the AI, or it can be something that hasn't been catch, and then it will get to you guys, and you'll have the option to click bad worst or good better. Okay. If they say bad worst, it goes to the solution questions. Like what can you help? What can help you? And then no matter what they reply to what can help you, we send them a closure. Okay. This is how we close. And if they say good, better, what do you feel right now? Actually, I'm great. Then we just send them like a closure, like that's great to hear. So you'll have buttons for it in the live channel. I think it's a, do you have any questions at all? Because I feel like this is a bit complicated, but okay, something I want to say that in each step we have the CI for edge cases and additions based on your judgment. Okay, we still have the CI. You can still use it for empowerment and everything because we don't have the empowerments in the automated flow. So that's like important. Okay. Do you have any questions? I know it has been a lot.
I have a quick one. Yeah, the last part of the flow, that's the first time I've seen it. Maybe because the AI caught it. So I was like, oh, okay, so there's like a what do you feel right now question. I didn't see that when I was having the conversation. So, but just right before that, where it says it suggests the exercise. My question is, does the AI know or Kai know if it's like a breathing exercise or an intervention exercise to send?
So right now we only have an intervention.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like, I think that's part of the problem. And like The good news in automating the ER is that you have a lot less stuff to deal with as companions, and it's a lot more efficient. But the bad news is that it's a lot less personalized. So we don't have the option right now for breathing or for it just sounds an exercise. But I think that maybe in the future we will have, because it seems like something that is important. But that's a really good remark. So I'll tell Steve about it as well.
That's it. Thanks.
Okay. Queen, Eliza, Queen, you said no questions. Eliza, do you have any questions? Okay, cool. So I know this has been like really long, and probably you're tired, but I do think that it's really important for you guys to have a better perspective of the whole flow. Like, you guys need to have the best person. Like, after, I don't know, me, maybe you need to have the best perspective of the whole flow. We do have like a lot, about 10 minutes. So I wanted to talk about something that Eliza has shown me. And if you do have any scenarios that you want to talk about, I want to say that the ER conversations, I'm guessing that the fact that it's like the new flow is a lot more automated, that it's going to look differently. So that's like really interesting to see like how your comments are going to be on the new ERs. I'm not sure when I'm saying the new ERs, I'm not sure that the companions are exactly using the next step buttons yet. So I'm not like you talked about the fact that you haven't been using it because you didn't get any training. But I think that probably like, I'm guessing that I hope that in a couple of days, a week, then we'll see like different conversations, because it will be like a lot more like on the next step buttons. Still, a lot is automated even now, so probably we'll see a difference. I do encourage you guys to take the conversations that you are going over, take them like from the newest as possible, because that's like the most on to date. So I want to show you something that Eliza's sent me, which is like super interesting. Okay, so this is a customer who is sharing. I'm not sure all of this is important, so I'll just go to here. Okay, so do you want to tell me a bit more about what you're going through? Yes. Please feel free to tell me whatever you want. I sometimes cry at night. I wish I was alone a lot. I struggle with depression and loneliness. I want my life to change. How does it make you feel? I used to have suicidal thoughts. I started to cry saying that. Okay, so here Eliza asked a really good question, and she asked, do we activate the suicide flow or don't we? Because this is like in past tense. Okay, so it's not like I want to kill myself or I'm having suicide thought, like I'm having suicidal thoughts. It's like I used to have, which is like pretty confusing. And what I had in mind is that, for example, here in specific, I would have activated the suicide flow, because I feel like this is a customer which is in distress. And when they're saying, I used to have suicidal thoughts, it's like, you can tell that it's not like he's out of it. It's not like he's like in a different place right now. In general, I started to cry saying that. So I'm guessing this is a customer in distress, and we want to be safe and sorry. Okay, so I would send the suicide flow and do it with protocol. But I do think, for example, that there can be a customer which is like in a different kind of mode. They're like, for example, sharing all kinds of stuff and like talking to Kai and be like, yeah, did you know I used to have suicidal thoughts? And you feel like, I'm not saying, like, we can't tell the tone in the in Kai, so it isn't perfect. But I can think of a situation when someone is sharing it like in a way that is more in the past, and the atmosphere, like in the conversation, it feels a lot more like they're just sharing about it, and they're not just like they're not it's not a cry, it's not a call for help. It's more like just a share. And maybe they're saying I used to have suicidal thoughts, and it's a context that implies that it has been reduced, or maybe it was like in a different time. Or so I think that in that kind of situation I wouldn't send a suicide flow, because it's like, okay, what do you want from me? I'm not suicidal, I just told you something about my past. I do want to say that it's really tricky and it's hard to tell 100%. So if you're not sure, I would send suicide flow, but because it's better to send it than not to send it. But it's like it's really interesting, because this is really a scenario where the same words can be used like in different contexts. Yeah, I think that's it. Do you have any thoughts, questions? Okay, cool. Okay. Did you notice anything different in your conversations? Like in the last days, because it's more automated or something?
I think
I didn't notice anything. That's all the one I shared earlier. That's all I observed.
Mm. You're saying that, if I understand correctly, they wanted to start the suicide flow, but they couldn't enter it because there was like the ER flow was automated. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, we're still gonna have problem with that. So that really makes sense that you've said. Alyssa, if you can send it to me on Slack. That's that scenario in specific. I'm guessing that, okay, I do encourage you guys to keep on. I want to say that I have gone over some of your responses, like your notes to the ER conversations, and it looks like you're doing a really good job. Like I've actually shown it to Lena, and she was like, "Wow, that's like really impressive that they know what is the correct thing to say." And so, first of all, I really want to say that I'm really impressed. So you're off to a really great start. And I'm guessing that right now you'll see a lot of conversations that are going to be mixed, and like Eliza said, like, because it's like when we start doing stuff automated, there's always like a mess, because we're not like in complete control of the conversation. So I encourage you guys to keep on doing conversations, like I said, up like the newest that you can get. And just have in mind that I'm guessing you'll see, try to be aware if you see any differences in the conversations that are going to be in this week than from the last week. Because think about that, it's a lot more automated. I'm guessing we're going to have more mistakes and bugs, and it's really important if you can like catch them and just like write this shouldn't be here, and then we can, or if it's like a companion needs to be trained, it will be a companion, and if it's AI, maybe we need to do changes. I guess what I'm saying is that because it's a new automated flow, I'm guessing there's a lot of bugs, a lot of errors, and it will be really great if you guys can help catch these stuff because you're going to look at so many conversations. Yeah, I think that's it. Sorry. Okay, cool. So I'll see you guys next week. I'm sorry that I feel like I've talked all this meeting and you guys were silent, but I feel like it was so important to show you the ER flow. And I'm gonna share you guys with the flow so you can see it on yourself later on. Okay.
Thank you. We appreciate you sharing the flow. Helps us, to be more familiar with what's happening and see what's actually happening on the customer side that we didn't see.
Nawala sa dami.
Guys,
Still
I had
here.
Wi-Fi. Sorry, I had Wi-Fi problems. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Abe, what did you say? I couldn't hear anything. You were like cut in a robot kind of way.
I was just thanking you for sharing the flow because now it's clear on our part that there are things that Kai is doing that we're not seeing, and it makes sense. So we appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, I'm happy to hear. Great. Okay, cool. So I'll see you guys next week. Stay safe and we'll be in touch. That's it. Have a nice day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Kilala.